OldGuyTalks.com is all about being a better man. Join me on this kick-ass journey. Exclusive stuff for members only in the Old Guy Cave. Opt in now. This is information only. Consult with an appropriate professional before starting any program. Do not be stupid. You are responsible for your own shit. The Old Guy is a capitalist and not a socialist weasel. He will be promoting stuff here and may be compensated. You can rest assured the Old Guy only promotes stuff he uses. You may have different results. Since recording this series, Jay has moved his website to www.trtrevolution.com. You can follow Jay there and get more information on testosterone therapy and other anti-aging strategies. That's www.trtrevolution.com.
This is Oris the K-Man from www.oldguytalks.com. Here with Jay Campbell from Fab Fit Over 40. That's with a 40. Listen, this is a series of webinars on testosterone replacement therapy. And it's important information to you, or if you know a man age 50 and over, or possibly even younger, then this is a must watch. In addition to that, you got to get Jay's book, The Definitive Testosterone Replacement Therapy Manual. Below, you'll find a link that'll take you to Amazon. You can buy it there. Where did we buy stuff before there was Amazon? And where did we go shopping before there was a Costco? My gosh. So Jay, let me just start this off with a question. And what in the hell is this term healthy aging?
Great question. So healthy aging is, in my opinion, it is the ability to live life with gusto, with pizzazz, with complete vigor, no matter what your age is, whether you're 45, 55, 75. And how you do that is optimally you have your hormones looked at and evaluated, and if you need an improvement regimen, and 90%, probably 90% plus of men as they age will, and of course women can have this happen too. The show's for men, of course, but it's crucial, Orist, because if you don't have your hormones optimized, you are massively, massively susceptible to all the diseases of aging. And I classify the diseases of aging as diabetes, heart disease, vascular defects, Alzheimer's. I mean, they call Alzheimer's now in the clinical world type 3 diabetes. So dementia, Alzheimer's, all of these things are the result of inflammation, which are due to resistance, your insulin signaling and the insulin receptors in your body becoming less and less effective as you eat food over time. So if you have hormonal optimization done, through, again, the modulation of your hormones, working with a progressive physician, and then you also do all the most important things of, eating a clean diet, exercising, not just doing cardio, resistance training, bone-bearing training, and then, of course, hopefully you do something to enhance your mindset, whether that's meditation, whether that's just walking with your family or your dogs in nature or something. But all of those things done in effect will absolutely avoid, if provided you don't get into some sort of a catastrophic car accident or something like that, it will avoid you seeing doctors as you age and allow you to age gracefully and in the context of health and longevity.
Okay. Well, let's dive into a little bit about the benefits of testosterone therapy. But right before we get that, every magazine that you open up, Muscle, Fitness, Iron Man, whatever, Men's Health, they got this. They sell supplements that boost your natural testosterone.
Right.
Let's talk about whether that what's the value there, if any.
So, I'm very outspoken crusader on this. I just did a webinar the other day with Nelson Gergel and Will Brink, and obviously Will Brink is a highly respected, also very outspoken guy. Testosterone boosting supplements are absolutely 100% bullshit. Okay, they're scams. Again, written about, the entire introduction of my book is talking about, all these poor bastards that have been buying testosterone supplements, for 40, 50 years, because as you said, they're hawked out of every magazine. They're hawked on every website. I mean, shit, if you're a guy that goes to an anti-aging website now, with the behavioral targeting and the cooking they do, they'll send you and serve you test boosting supplements on every goddamn web page that you have. It's absolutely insane. And it's sad because there's been so many men, and I really want to say hundreds of millions of men, and that's very accurate, that have bought these things. They're snake oil. They do nothing. I mean, any of them, if they boost testosterone, and none of them do clinically in vivo under lab assays and actual research, but if they do boost, in your opinion, as you're using them, you feel better, you feel like you have a sexual boost, it's placebo. Okay. And if it's not placebo, it's just you buying it and believing in it. As we know, the mind is a very powerful force. So but they're completely a scam. The only way that you can enhance actual hormone levels is through pharmaceutical grade testosterone and the multiple delivery systems that are available.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the benefits of testosterone. And there's been a number of articles written about heart disease and testosterone, and I had a friend of mine that got that. He went off his testosterone because his cardiologist told him to go off of it. Felt miserable and went back on it. And so, what's the latest research on that?
So, great question. All of this stuff is again amply documented and cited in my book. Right. I really feel that. The book was published in November, but I actually have research as late as October of last year. Since then, there was one study that came out literally yesterday. I think everybody is aware of that, or even 2 days ago, I guess, on Wednesday, but it was talked about yesterday. It's in all the news and the popular press right now. There's nothing revelational, but most of the preconceived media hyped information out there about the quote-unquote dangers of using testosterone is actually, and I know this is going to sound crazy, is the inverse of the truth. Okay, and what I mean by that is that all the data, and it's very spurious data, but all of the data that has been done on prostate issues, on heart issues, again, so-called negative side effects of using testosterone, is based on data of men who are elderly and already with pre-existing conditions of those same issues. So what I mean by that is that if this is a guy that has now a heart event or a vascular event, he was probably already had a pre-existing heart condition. He was he was older than 65 years old. He had these previous events, and obviously he was already beset with the diseases of aging. And the same thing with prostate. And so when I say it's the inverse, is that the latest theories and data, and again, all substantiated in my book by numerous doctors and researchers and scientists, is that having low testosterone as you age for both prostate issues and also heart issues is something that, how do I describe this, is something that it causes those issues. So if you have low testosterone, okay, and you are not, living life the way you should live, from a physical standpoint, it's likely, or not likely, but it's possible and it's highly probable that you possibly could have a heart condition or a heart attack or something symptomatic of a vascular issue because of your low testosterone versus the opposite. In fact, there's research in my book that shows that men that did have pre-existing heart conditions who were given low doses of testosterone actually improved and went off of this, the medications they were taking for their heart and all of that. So, and it's the same thing for prostate. And again, it's been believed previous to that it was the opposite of that. But so I guess my hope is that as more and more research surfaces and comes to the forefront, and obviously the article yesterday proves that now testosterone helps like elderly patients in mobility, in bone mineral density, and also it improves their mood. Obviously we know this, Horace, but
sure.
the popular media gains access to this information. It's only going to improve, in my opinion, the ability to doctors to actually diagnose the condition, and not only once they diagnose the condition, actually provide effective treatment protocols.
Well, it only makes sense because, the heart is a muscle. It's a muscle. It's counterintuitive to think that the testosterone would be cause damage. You touched on bone density, and want to talk about bone density, testosterone, and weight training, and how those fit in.
Right. So in my book, and I've probably prefaced this maybe 10 times at various locations in the book, I always tell guys that testosterone is not a panacea. Okay. It is not a magic bullet. You have to, and I say have to, you don't have to do anything in life but pay taxes and die that we know of. But I say if you want to use testosterone effectively, you must exercise and do progressive weight training, because as you just led to, testosterone does improve bone mineral density. It improves muscular protein tissue turnover and improves the strength of contractile tissue proteins, i.e. muscle. So knowing that, if you engage in a progressive weightlifting protocol, and again, this isn't like, I don't want guys that watch your show to think like, oh shit, you have to train 7 days a week and be like those bodybuilders. It's no, not at all. You just have to go to the gym, at least in my opinion, twice a week. I would prefer 3, and employ some form of progressive overload weight training. And what is progressive overload? That means that every time you go to the gym and you train the body part, you either lift a couple more reps more at the same weight, or you increase the weight and you get the same amount of reps. So you're constantly forcing your body to build muscle, to strengthen its skeletal, its spine and all of its various skeletal components, and at the same time improve your aesthetics, because the more muscle you have, the less likely you are to be susceptible to inflammation from insulin. And again, insulin is what causes inflammation. It causes all the diseases of aging. And that's one thing that I always preface, or when I speak to people, I tell them that the more muscle your body has, and again, I don't want guys to think of like hypertrophic, super mutant muscle bodybuilders, okay? Not guys like that, but guys like, like effectively like you and me. I mean, guys that are, less than 15% body fat, in good shape. The more muscle you have, the more effective your body is at processing insulin, because muscle is extremely efficient at processing insulin. So if you have more muscle than fat, and again, I always say guys should strive for 15% body fat or less as they age, you will be much more efficient at eating. And that also means you can eat more shitty food or eat more quote unquote cheap foods and be much more efficient at having your body process those without any kind of metabolic damage. So a lot of reasons why you should strength train, but probably the number one reason is to improve insulin sensitivity as you age, so that when you do eat, if it's not the best, and again, you should strive to eat clean, your body can handle it.
Yeah. Plus the whole mobility thing, as you age, you see people that lose their muscle mass, especially in their legs.
Right.
And next thing you know, they're falling over and they're breaking a hip.
Yeah, it's called sarcopenia. And, exactly. I mean, you must functionally improve your body's foundation by improving muscle, increasing muscle mass, and then, of course, by increasing muscle mass, you're ultimately going to improve bone density and strengthen your skeleton.
So let's talk a little bit about the improving your mind through testosterone.
Sure.
Because that's you mentioned the brain fog, and how that was something that clears up with testosterone.
So you're going to laugh at this. Yeah. So again, this is the number one fastest symptom to improve when you employ a testosterone improvement regimen, is the clearing up of the lack of focus. Mm-hmm. Again, when I say you're going to laugh at this, I'm so good now at diagnosing and observing quote unquote low testosterone in modern society. I can walk up to a man at any level, anywhere, and I can listen to him speak for 10 seconds, and I can tell you whether he has suboptimal testosterone. You provide or give off a voice inflection when your testosterone is where it needs to be. When you have suboptimal testosterone, you don't give off that same voice inflection. Now, I'm not saying that every guy can hear that. I mean, obviously, I have a trained ear, and I've been doing this, and I can also verb ideologies and physical symptoms of people. But so many men today have low testosterone that it is actually scary. And what happens when you have low testosterone is, we discussed in the first video, is that you have this inability to take action. You literally hesitate in every goddamn thing you do. Your wife nags you, you don't give her an answer. And that actually makes the relationship worse, because, we're not here to talk about male and female relationships, but women want a strong, decisive man to take action. All women. Doesn't matter whether she's alpha or beta. That's what a woman wants. That's what she wants from a man. That's what she's designed biologically to want. So when you don't provide that type of insight or that type of reaction to your wife and you hesitate in everything, man, your wife stops respecting you. So that to me is, course and cause in and of itself of why men should be looking at their blood levels and understand whether or not they have low testosterone. Because seriously, when you have an inability to decide and take quick action, you're fucked. And then, the cognition effect, that's kind of individual, but most men who have low testosterone who are in their 40s and then of course later, so all your readers, guys in their 50s or your followers, it's a noticeable brain fog. It's like literally an inability to concentrate whatsoever at a certain point in the day. That symptom is literally alleviated within 2 weeks of starting any testosterone improvement regimen, and that's also regardless of delivery system. So most men don't have any clue about that being like the number one symptom that's improved or fixed at testosterone improvement regimens, but you just have more energy, you have more focus, and you by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, your life is not over, your day's not over. You're like, okay, bring on what's next.
Yep, you're still feeling alive at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's actually amazing. In your book, you mentioned about how our endocrine systems are being bombarded by toxins. Right. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So I love talking about this. So this is why I tell everybody that I speak with on a regular basis that this is a epidemic. Okay, that low testosterone and to speak to a bigger picture from male and female, society at large, as endocrine systems are being bombarded. Now, in the bigger coastal population centers with the larger populations and the more industrial scale, it's worse than if you're living out in the wilds of Montana and you don't have the larger populations, you don't have the coastal air and smog and particulates and all the different things. But essentially, if you live in a large city with a lot of people and you're close to industry, you cannot avoid endocrine suppression, okay? It's in the plastic water bottles. It's in the microwave, cookery. It's everywhere. It's walk outside, take a breath, and boom, your endocrine system is being bombarded. So that's why I tell people that it's almost impossible, okay, to have a healthy, fully functioning endocrine system today as an aging person without looking into optimizing your hormones, because it's almost impossible. Now, again, there are outliers. If you live in the wilds of Montana, if you live in a place with no population, there's no smog, it's pristine, crystal clear air, there is a possibility that as you age, you can have optimal hormones probably in your 50s and 60s. But that is a very rare, that is an outlier. Like I said, these things, BPA, phthalates, everything that's in the air, from smog, from cars, from industrial factories, all of these things attack the endocrine system and they suppress our natural hormones. Now, like in men specifically, this stuff has led to the reduction in sperm count and quality. So and again, this is in the book, as you know, but in the last 20 years, globally, the sperm count of men has been reduced by half. So literally 100% reduction in sperm count. So as a result, we have a declining birth rate globally, worldwide, and we also have men who are infertile at an earlier age. So whether this is by design, I don't think so, or just a product of everyday, modern day environmental living, the only thing you can do about it is, again, to seek a doctor, first read my book or books like my book, search on the internet, look at your blood levels, find out what's not working. And regarding blood levels, we can get to that, later, because that's obviously a very important topic for men who can understand that stuff, because again, you're totally in control of your health yourself. Nobody's in control. The doctor's not in control. You're in control. But that's really the only way that you can avoid this stuff, is to have personal ownership of your metabolic health and your hormone levels, and to know that if you are seeing a decline and obviously feeling it from a symptomatic standpoint, that you aggressively attack it.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about one of your websites, because I know you got a few of them. TRTmastermind.com. Tell us a little bit about that.
So TRTmastermind.com is something that I've launched literally in the last 2 weeks. It's with my mentor and one of my best friends in life, Jim Brown. Jim Brown is an amazing character. He is a former professional bodybuilder. He now works in a high-level surgical equipment sales guy. He's in Tampa, Florida. And him and I have been literally friends for 20 years. His background as a pro bodybuilder, he also owned a gym in Flagstaff, Arizona, where he trained numerous Olympic caliber athletes. So, I mean, the guy is like beyond qualified. And he is a walking encyclopedia of understanding men's endocrine systems, metabolic health, anti-aging, regenerative medicine. I mean, he's like a doctor. I mean, honestly, like I know so many doctors that go to him. It's insane. And I've pretty much learned almost everything that I've learned from him. So together, what we're doing is we're working with men who are working with doctors. I mean, of course, we're not doctors. You know, we make you sign a waiver when you work with us, saying, look, you know, the average doctor today can only prescribe you testosterone, okay? And then he can triage you and see your blood work maybe a couple times a year. We're kind of the guys in between the doctor and you that can say, hey, Orest, or hey, Jim, or hey, Joe, or hey, Chris, we can sit down with you in 20 to 30 minutes per week, and we can look at your internal body health. We can look at your blood work. We can do all these different things with your mindset, your physique, your exercise principles, your diet, all these things that your doctor can't help you with. And we will tweak to get you to wherever you want to go. So maybe you're a guy that wants to just basically improve and lose body fat. We can help you. Maybe you're a guy who's like, you know, underweight. He wants to put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle, or maybe just 5 to 10 pounds of muscle. We can help you. Maybe you're a guy who's like, you know what? I don't have the right mindset with this shit. You know, testosterone is not working like it should for me. We can help you. So we created this program essentially to help guys who feel like their doctors are not getting them to where they really want to be in using testosterone.
Okay.
It's TRT. Just have guys go to trtmastermind.com. Fill out the information, and then we'll reach out to you to find out if you're a candidate for the program. Simple.
All right. That sounds like a great website and a great resource for a lot of our listeners.
Totally. And we're not expensive. We don't rip guys off. We're not, you know, it's very, very cost efficient. We want to help guys, and we want guys to feel like, wow, you know, they're getting supreme benefit from it.
All right. All right, Jay. Well, I want to thank you for this session on testosterone replacement therapy. First of all, get Jay's book, The Definitive Testosterone Replacement Therapy Manual. And it's a manual because this is a workbook.
Right.
This is something you can use. This is practical, hands-on information. Go to Jay's website, FabFitOver40. That's 4040.com. And there'll be more information coming to you. This is important for men age 50 and over, and sometimes younger. So this is Orest the K-Man from www.oldguytalk signing off. Have a great day. Create a great one.
Since recording this series, Jay has moved his website to www.trtrevolution.com. You can follow Jay there and get more information on testosterone therapy and other anti-aging strategies. That's www.trtrevolution.com. Opt in and encourage other old guy assholes like you to opt in also.